You're joining me, Kelly McHugh, the founder of Digital Yoga Academy. We're talking about sales today, specifically selling higher priced online yoga offerings. What is a higher priced online yoga offering? Well, you may have heard the terms high ticket or high ticket item or premium priced. And what these are referring to are offerings that provide higher levels of value, okay? Higher levels of value and transformation. And therefore, they're higher priced, okay? Because they're higher value, higher transformation that you can offer, and therefore the price is higher. And so a high ticket online offering would be something like an online course or a program, okay? So if you look at what you currently offer to your community, okay, if you look at your existing offerings, from the lowest price to the highest price, you could have a number of options. The lowest price is likely to be a weekly drop-in class, okay, on Zoom, maybe also in person. Okay, and then perhaps you have a subscription for your students where they can access both the replays from your Zoom classes and also the lives. Maybe you offer online workshops and online events or even virtual retreats. Perhaps you have an online membership, a monthly membership where you're providing and offering new content every single month and taking your students on a journey with you each month. Or maybe you're working with your students on a one-to-one basis, okay? Perhaps you've created an online one-to-one program, and then maybe you have a group online course as well. So these offers, they increase in price as they also increase in value, okay? So your higher priced online offering could be this online course. It might also be a one-to-one yoga mentorship, okay? A yoga mentorship program that you've created. And actually, that's a really great place to start, okay? Especially if you're already a private yoga teacher. Because if you're already working with your students in that capacity, then you can actually create a higher ticket package, okay? So a higher priced offering to work with your students on a one-to-one basis and take them through a framework, okay? So this would be a program that you've created to get them to a specific outcome or transformation, right? So really, this is about how you position this, okay? How you can position your higher priced online offerings. And when it comes to, one-to-one packages, let's say, what I'm not talking about is packaging up a number of private yoga classes, okay? So I'm not talking about like a 10 class pack, let's say. Instead, I'm encouraging you to look at what the transformation is that you can offer your student. Like, what problem can you support them to solve on this, maybe it's an 8-week journey or a 12-week journey, whatever it might be, but what kind of support are you going to provide to them? Okay, so maybe that's sessions over Zoom, okay? It could be some kind of like coaching or mentoring that you're providing to them. Maybe it's email support, maybe it's Voxer support, whatever it might be. Perhaps it's access to your subscription or your membership as part of that as well. And how long will that last? So one-to-one yoga mentorship is what I want to call it, is a very easy way to start with this, and it allows you to actually get up and running very, very quickly. And after you've worked with enough people in a one-to-one capacity, then you can start to map out what an online course might look like as well. The great thing about this is that it's allowing you to really identify the areas that you can support your students in, okay? And this is key. You must know how you can support your students. And of course, as you start to kind of work up that ladder that I've just kind of talked you through, so going from the kind of lowest price drop-in class right up to, an online course or a one-to-one package for your students, especially when you come to an online course, it's becoming more scalable, isn't it? An online course is highly scalable because you can reach more people with the same content. Okay, so when it comes to actually selling an online course, which is what we're talking about today, or any other kind of higher priced online offering, it really requires a higher level of visibility from you, okay? And also a deeper understanding of buyer behavior, right? Buyer behavior and the thought process that your students will go through in order to decide if this is the right investment for them or not. Okay, because it is a higher priced offering or a higher ticket offer. Okay, there's a thought process, there's a buying process that your students will go through to make that decision. Do you feel afraid when it comes to selling? Because this is common, right? This is common, and I often hear teachers say, I don't want to come across as salesy, or they feel awkward when they actually have to show up online and talk about the offering that they have and talk about the price. And what you need to realize is that selling isn't scammy, right? It's actually part of you serving your community, okay? And the great thing about it is that you can actually learn how to sell. Like, you can learn how to sell. And, for me personally, by learning how to sell higher priced online offerings, like, I've been able to build an incredible online business. Over the last 5 years, I've been able to build a multiple six-figure business. And I don't say that to bamboozle you, right? I know these kind of terms of like 6 figures, 7 figures, they get bashed around a lot. However, I do say it to inspire you and to show you that having an online course really provides you with the opportunity to grow your business, but also to scale your business to whatever income goal you have, right? We all have different income goals. And the reason for that is because you're no longer limited by capacity. Like, you're no longer trading time for money, and the possibilities become limitless. You set the goal that you have and you work towards it. And it really is as simple as that. With an online course, the opportunity is there, right? Is there for you to take. And of course, it doesn't happen overnight. Like, it might take a year, it might take 5 years. And, for me, I'm in my 5th year and I'm on track to reach my goal, okay? And all this goes to show is that selling is a skill that you can learn. It's a skill that you can learn. And I know that the fastest way to grow my business and the fastest way for you to grow your business is to get help. I've worked with multiple coaches, mentors, I've taken courses, I've read books. There is so much information out there for you to consume in order to learn any skill that you need. So, in order to get the support that you need, essentially, to make it work. And it's going to take work, right? It requires you to work on your mindset just as much as learning new strategies. The reason for that, the reason that you need your mindset to be strong, is so that you don't give up, like when you face setback, because setbacks are inevitable. When it comes to selling, you're always going to get no's. Definitely, that comes with it. There will definitely be times when you hear no, and that's just part of actually succeeding. So it's important to expect that, expect failure, if you want to call it that, and work your way through the obstacles, especially when it comes to selling. I know myself, I had a huge fear around selling in the early days, and it's something I had to really work at and get good at. If I didn't do that work, I wouldn't be here today doing what I'm doing, right? So it's not something that we're just born with, guys. You have to recognize where you need support with these things. So today I'm sharing 10 steps to sell your higher priced online offering. The first step to selling higher priced online offerings is market research, okay? So you can only be good at selling if you know your audience well, right? And, if you don't know what your ideal students really care about, and you don't know what they really need, you can't sell the benefits of what you're actually offering. And you won't know what to actually include in your content to enable you to attract the right people in. So you're not going to get very far, if you don't do any research. When was the last time that you did a survey? When was the last time you asked some questions on stories? When was the last time you gathered insight about your ideal students? You won't get far if you don't do this. And the students inside the Profitable Yoga Teacher, they are learning right now how to do this research, like how to share what's called an emotional driven survey, okay, to really get into the hearts and minds of their students so that they can create their messaging, so that they can craft their offerings that students actually want and need, okay? They're also learning how to validate their online courses. And this is super important, right? This is super important to validate the offerings that you're creating through research. And all of this is essential. It's essential so that when you actually come to sell, like when you come into your launch phase, you feel confident, like you know that you've done the research and you've validated your course offering, and you feel confident about showing up and selling it because you know that you've created something that there's demand for. Like imagine how that feels versus going into a launch period and not really knowing in your heart if this is what your people actually need. So that first step, research, is super, super important. Okay, step 2 is to build relationships. Now this one sounds obvious, but most people believe that when it comes to selling, that the sale actually happens on a discovery call or, via a sales email or via a sales page, let's say, the course sales page. And it actually happens way before. Okay, so of course you need all of those things. You need your sales emails, you need a landing sales page, you need a good offering to begin with, a good online course that you validated, you need good marketing. But what matters most is actually the relationship that you have with your community, with your audience. And sometimes you build these relationships really fast. Okay, so maybe you could be chatting with someone in the DMs who's just discovered you, or you're on a sales call, okay, you're on a sales call with someone and they quickly go on to book your one-to-one program or to enroll in your online course. And then other times, it might take years to build that relationship that leads to a sale. I have a teacher in my community right now, and she's been here since the very beginning. Like literally, I remember her as one of the first people in my Facebook group. And she has just joined the most recent cohort for the Launch Accelerator Mastermind. So this is a mastermind of 20 teachers, and it's for those teachers who are a little bit further ahead in their journey and in their business and need more support with scaling, okay? So she's in this program with me right now. And this is a fairly new program. So she's been in the community for some time and resonating with my messaging and with my vibe, but waiting for the right program, okay? So, this is because some people aren't ready to buy right now, so they will stick around in your community, or maybe they're waiting for the right offering, just like that student who I've just mentioned. And, this really means that it's essential for you to be showing up, for you to be visible, for you to be sharing value, so that when people are ready, they know that you are the right person for them. So, show up every day, essentially. Like that is how you make sales. You show up every day and you build relationships with your community. So that's step number 2. Step 3 is to share free content. What I'll say here is there's no such thing as too much free content. The more you give, the more people will want to work with you, because it's your content that really helps you to sell. And without it, selling is really difficult. It really is. Your free content is what shows you as an authority, but also it helps you to grow your community, okay? It helps you to grow the community. And if you're relentless in your efforts to consistently show up each week, share your content, offer support, offer value, your community are going to know that you're the person to support them and guide them, because they can see that. They can see that through the free content that you're sharing. They can see that you're passionate, and they can see that you have the expertise. And people want to work with experts, right? People want to work with experts. They don't want to work with people who know a little bit about a lot of things, okay? Especially when it comes to something like an online course, something that is a higher priced offering. And if I look back at the last 5 years, and particularly the last few years, like I've had multiple six-figure launches from giving away super high valuable content that I could charge for. Okay, so these are the summits, the online challenges, the immersions that I host, like before I open the doors to a program. And those things, they're a lot of work. You know, they take a lot of work and effort and commitment to put out there. But they build excitement, they build trust, and they build authority within your community. And all of that is essential in order for you to be able to actually make sales. Okay, step 4 is to create a pre-launch and a launch plan. When you're selling a higher priced online offering, such as an online course, you need to take your audience on a journey. And you do this through the content and the activities that you share, okay? So you'll share specific types of content, and you'll host specific activities before you open the doors to enrollment, okay? So that's actually called the pre-launch phase. And then you'll share specific types of content and specific activities when you open the doors until you close them, okay? So that's called your launch phase. This requires a plan, right? You must have a pre-launch and launch plan. And the purpose of this is to move your audience towards a decision, towards making a decision, which of course is to join you inside your online course. So, you know, during these phases, the pre-launch and launch phase, you're really just ramping up your content, okay? You're ramping up your content, you're ramping up the activities that you're doing, and this requires you to be super organized and streamlined, right? So it's about getting very intentional with your content and with your launch campaign activations. So this could be things like online challenges, webinars, Q&A sessions. It could be offering bonuses, incentives, and so on, okay? I teach all of this inside the Profitable Yoga Teacher. I teach the specifics of this content and these activities that are required during a pre-launch and launch phase, okay? And how to actually create that plan. It's essential. You need that. You know, it's not just about sharing a post on Instagram and sending an email and then calling that a launch. That's not what it's about, particularly when you are selling a high ticket offering, a high priced offering. Okay, step 5 is to talk about money. Most yoga teachers tend to be incredibly uncomfortable, when it comes to talking about money. And the thing is, if someone, a potential paying student, is doubting if your online course is worth it, you must talk about money, okay? You must talk to them about their perception of the value of your course. So talking about money is just you asking to be paid for the value that you offer, okay? You're asking to be paid for your experience and your time. So own it, right? Own your price. Like, don't lower it unless you've decided that's part of your strategy to maybe offer a lower price for a wait list, for waitlisters, or for early bird enrollments. But own your price and talk about the money, okay? Talk about the value that your online course actually offers. Number 6 is to prepare for objections, okay? Prepare for objections. So when you're selling, you're going to come across objections, right? So these are things that your audience will say to you, that your potential paying students will say to you as to why they can't enroll right now, okay? And usually it's things like lack of time, lack of money, maybe they need to speak to their partner, maybe they're unsure if they can actually do what your course says they will do, okay? And, when this happens, when you hear these objections, it's not about convincing someone, okay? That's not what it's about. Your job is to help that person to make the right decision for them, okay? So especially if you are chatting with someone in the DMs or you're on a discovery call with someone, remember they've made the decision to be there. They've made the decision to be on that call. They've made the decision to be in the DMs with you having this conversation. So they're there right then, in that moment, discussing this with you and trying to decide whether it's the right option for them. So your job is to step up and to do that and to not be scared when you hear an objection, because objections actually come from fear. Okay, so maybe, they might fear, okay, they might not be sure if you're the right teacher to guide them. Or maybe they fear that they're not going to get to the end of the course, okay? They're not going to be able to get to the transformation that you're offering. So when you talk someone through their objections, which is what you need to do, you need to discuss it with them, they might come to the conclusion that being in that online course with you is not the right decision for them right now. But either way, whatever conclusion they come to, they're going to get closure and you're going to get closure as well. And as a result, you actually get better students, because if you have to convince someone to work with you, they're also going to need a lot of convincing to do the work inside the course, okay? So you want students in your course who really want to be there, right? Who actually want to get to the transformation that you're promising. Okay, step 7, we're on step 7 of 10, and step 7 is to share stories. So this is essentially about storytelling, okay? So storytelling is powerful and it can really support you in selling your online course, okay? Particularly success stories, okay? Stories about your students and their successes and their results from working with you, okay? So sharing testimonials and sharing case studies is super powerful, okay? It's a really great way to demonstrate that you can get people results inside your online course. And also to show people that you are who you say you are and that you can deliver on what you promise in your course. You can also share your own stories, okay? You can also share your own personal story and transformation. So ideally, this is the same transformation that you will be teaching people to get to inside your online course, okay? So sharing stories, sharing testimonials, sharing case studies, super powerful way to sell your online course. Okay, step 8 is to create an email sales sequence, okay? An email sales sequence. So usually this launch phase is a 10 to 14 day period. And you actually want to be sending an email almost daily. Here's the thing. If you've done your pre-launch phase in the right way, okay, so that pre-launch phase before you open the doors to enrollment, and you've done that in the right way, and I teach you in the Profitable Yoga Teacher how to do that in the right way, you will have shared so much value, okay, up to that point, that now this is your time to shine, okay? You deserve a place in their inbox. And anyone who unsubscribes, they were not going to buy from you anyway, okay? That's fine. They can unsubscribe from your email list, make room for someone who wants to be on your email list. The purpose of your emails are to help your community to make the right decision for them, okay? The purpose of your emails are to showcase your course, to showcase student results, the transformation, the benefits, to showcase all of those things that will help people to make a decision, okay? People are not going to read every single email that you send. They're not going to see every single email that you send. So if you don't show up, they're not going to have all of this information that they need in order to make a decision. You must have an email sales sequence. If you don't do that, you're really missing a big opportunity. Step 9 is to show them the transformation, okay? So, when you are talking about your online course, when you're selling your online course, your students, they are not going to be falling off their chair because your course offers a Facebook group. That's just simply a feature of what you're offering or a way to deliver content, yeah? What they're concerned about and what they're truly going to be excited and hyped about is the outcome, right? It's the transformation, which is the result that they're going to get. Okay, so if you are receiving questions or emails or DMs from your community and they're asking you questions about the live, when are the live sessions, and what videos do they get access to, and when will they get access to the Facebook group, or what workbooks are they going to get? It's because they're not really sure what they're getting, right? They're not really sure what they're getting. They're looking for a way to measure it, which means that they probably don't fully see the value of your course, okay? So that's a really good indicator to tell you if you are sharing the value, if you're sharing the true value of your course, which of course is the transformation. So instead of talking about those things, you get X number of live sessions, you get X number of videos, etc., you need to be focusing on the transformation that they get. Okay, because this is what they really care about. That's why people buy online courses. It's how they're going to look and how they're going to feel at the end of your course. What is the result that you're promising? What is the outcome, right? What's the outcome? What's the transformation? That's what they truly care about. It's not the number of videos or the number of hours that it's going to take to get them there. So really, really focus on the transformation. It's super, super important. Okay, step 10 is to move through your fear. Move through your fear, because your fears will keep you stuck if you let them. With everything that I've shared so far, what fears are coming up for you? And a fear is usually like, oh, I'd never be able to do that particular thing, right? Or that wouldn't work for me. It's a limiting belief, or it's a fear that something might not work for you, that you'd maybe never be able to create and sell a high ticket or a higher priced online course. That could be a big fear that you're feeling right now. Lots of fears that can come up when it comes to online courses. If you let your fears come up, they're gonna keep you stuck. Okay, if you're afraid and fearful, you're going to talk yourself out of it, right? You're going to talk yourself out of it. You're going to talk yourself out of creating your online course. You're going to talk yourself out of showing up daily. You're going to talk yourself out of essentially sharing what you do, okay? And when that happens, you'll see your students enroll in another course and not yours. Because remember, ultimately, they're looking for a solution to their problem. Okay, so if you don't show up with your offering and why it's so great, they're going to go somewhere else to find that solution. So you must trust yourself, you must believe 100% in what you have to offer and really be sold on what you have to offer and how it can help people. Because these fears, they're not going to just magically go away. They're not going to disappear. And no one is also going to magically find you if you're not showing up. No one's going to buy what you have to offer if you're not owning it and you're not showing up and sharing what it is. So really start working on, getting past your fears, because that is essential. It's essential. As I said, fear doesn't go away, guys. It's how we manage it that matters, right? It's it's the work that we do on our mindset that is really key to your success and will help you to recognize fear, to recognize limiting beliefs when they come up, and to move through them. And I really just share this deep from my heart. You can do this. You have so much that you can offer. You really, truly do. It's about you doing the work to understand what that offer is, to really understand and do the work to see how you can support your students. Yeah, this isn't just picking things out of thin air. We have to do the work to get there and to get the answers. And really the answers are already in here, But it's, again, doing the work to pull them out, to pull those answers that you already know. Because you do have gifts. This is why you're here as a yoga teacher. You do have the ability to really support and help people. This is why you're doing what you're doing. And it's really about how you package it up in a different way that's going to help you to show up in a different way. And, you know, I say this often, but if we want this year to be our best year yet, or we want to do the most incredible things in our business, we have to do something different. We can't do what we did last year and then expect to get different results. We have to do something different. We have to look at, you know, being more strategic and thinking with a business hat, right? We have to make business decisions that business owners make. And this takes work. You know, it doesn't just come naturally. It takes learning. It takes working with mentors and coaches to really understand how to do it. Start today. Like, you have so much free content here in this community. The Yogipreneur podcast, the live sessions with me every week on Facebook and Instagram. There's the blog. There's so much content that you can consume. We have freebies that you can opt in to receive to your inbox. We have a video series. We have a blueprint. We have so much on offer. And of course, we have our online programs and coaching as well. And so if you are interested in learning more about how you can actually create and launch your very own online yoga course, I encourage you to join the wait list for the Profitable Yoga Teacher. It's going to be opening very, very soon. You can get your name on the wait list right now and lock in a $500 discount, okay? There's no commitment right now, guys. You're literally just putting your name on a list and locking in the discount, okay? You'll be the first to know when enrollment's open. You'll be the first in. There's other bonuses for waitlisters as well, okay? So get your name on that list. And in the meantime, I will be sharing lots of content and information about online courses over the coming weeks. I also have a challenge coming up very soon as well. So lots happening here at Digital Yoga Academy to get excited about. Stay with us. Send me an email. Send me a message if there's any questions that you have. I'm absolutely delighted to support and help you, okay? Sending you guys lots and lots of love. Thank you again for being here with me, and I'll see you very soon. See you guys. Bye-bye.